Welcome everyone to my latest video review. I know I haven't made one since February, that's like 2 months. Because things came up. I actually was planning to make more regular reviews, just things kept coming up. But here it is. I got this my hands on a Silver Ranger with this bike. This was one of the newer Lightning Collection releases. So this is actually our second Silver and Space Ranger. You guys probably already know we did have a limited release of an individual Soul Ranger with all its accessories. So this one comes with this bike. So those of you who aren't familiar with Space Pirates in Space or don't remember, the Silver Ranger came with a Galaxy Glider that could also transform into a bike. So this is the bike version of the release. So this I really wish that the other Rangers got it too because it was such a cool mode going from glider to bike. I know the 1998 toys, they released Space Rangers where they came with a glider that can also turn into a bike. It's really cool. The box art has always been my favorite. They always use the Ranger colors and they incorporate it depending on which Ranger you're getting. So this one is the Silver Ranger, so they use like whites, silvers, and grays to kind of like bring out the Ranger. We have a nice little illustration of the Silver Ranger here. The light is like up. And here we have a nice picture of the figure on the bike here. My box came a little bit like dented, so that's why it's not like standing properly. Right here it tells you getting the In Space Silver Ranger. On the side here it says In Space Silver Ranger with the Space Rangers logo. A nice picture of the Silver Ranger here. Then on the back here we have a picture of the Silver Ranger and the bike. Here we have the bike, the Silver Ranger and its accessories on the same head. And I found that really cool of them to still give us accessories and also another Zane head. I mean, they could have easily skipped on those and be like, ah, they already have an individual figure with accessories. Why bother with these? But still, props to them for still giving us the accessories. And of course, get additional hands. And this is what the top looks like. This says Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Overall, I love the box, just like all the other Lightning Collection boxes. It looks really awesome. So here's the Space Silver Ranger on the bike. That's what he looks like. It's really cool. If he doesn't sit very steady, I guess you have to really like put his arms on the handlebars. But yeah, that's what he looks like. And you also get a nice little stand on the bike there, so it will stay properly without falling over. And it comes with like rotating wheels. So let's actually take a look at the bike. It doesn't actually come in one piece like this. So first the front, let me try to take this off. Comes separate like this. And the handlebars also, they're not connected. Pretty much comes like this. And it's pretty cool. The front wheel does kind of turn a little bit. So what you need to do is just align this peg going here. Let me show you guys a close up with this groove in here. It's hard to tell because they're all in black. And you just have to fit it in there. The handlebars, it doesn't go in properly. You kind of have to force it in. Like I really, I really tried and I couldn't really get it in properly. I don't know if just my bike is defective or if it's like that with all the bikes. But yeah, that's the most I can get it, but it's very loose sometimes, just comes off. You guys can tell. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's not in properly. It's not in flat. And basically this one here we have a little like a groove inside. So to put it in there and that's it. It's very simple compared to Time Force Blue Spike. This is so much more easier. It's just a few pieces and you're good. And I love this stand right here. It keeps the bike from falling over. It looks really cool. And so that's pretty much it for the bike. Let's look at the actual figure. This is what the figure looks like. Still an amazing figure. I'm glad they didn't screw up this figure. I mean, I spoke too soon. Gold over here is a lot lower on his shoulder than it should be. But other than that, they did a great job. So with this figure, you get a few accessories. Let me actually show you the accessories. So you, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to. So you got a Zane head. This is what he looks like. If my phone will do a close up, let's see. Let's see. There you go. That's what it looks like. You get the two super silver eyes here. So you get this one, the sword, and you get this one, the gun. And I love that they didn't just include a handle; they actually included the cuff here where the whole hand actually goes through. But that's how we used it in the show. These are re-released weapons because the first Solo Ranger came with the same weapons. And you also get these additional hands, so one in a fist mode, and then one in like a karate chop mode. And articulation is pretty much the same. So I'll show you guys a close-up of the actual figure, what he looks like. I love the silver paint that they used. It looks amazing. It's up a nice shine. So articulation is pretty standard. So you can move it up, down, side to side. And then on the shoulder, up, down, you can move the gloves. And you can move it up, down. And there's chest articulation to the back or front, like so. You can even widen the chest by moving the arms. And the legs up here, you can rotate it. And over here, they're double jointed. Just be careful when you first get them. Like, don't move the force the joints because you'd easily break it if you're not careful. Like this is a little bit stiff, so I'm gonna be careful because it's hard to find this figure. This figure actually has been out for a little bit, at least in the US. I wanted to wait out until I could find this figure for retail. Retail for Canada is like $35 or so I didn't want to pay more than that. So it's lucky to find it for that price. So that's our Silver Ranger. And I must say, I love him. Like I'm glad they didn't mess him up too much, but they did a great job. This is what the figure looks like with the Zane head. He looks really cool. I like him. I mean, there's something a little bit off about his face. Let me show you guys a close up. Still doesn't quite look like Zane, but it was a decent attempt. It's not too bad. It's not like the case of Zeo Blue Rocky, so I'm gonna give them a pass for this. It's still pretty decent. And I did do the head swap, and it was very tight, so be very careful that you guys don't break off the knob. That's what it looks like. I love the gold detailing on the cuffs because they use like a really nice gold, dark gold on him. It really brings out the silver. Here are the two Zane figures. The one on the right is the new Zane figure that came with the bike, and the one on the left is the single release. While comparing the two, I must say I like the newer Zane head better because he looks more serious, while this Zane face looks a bit goofy to me. It's making a face. Yeah, let me show you a close up of this one here so you guys can do a comparison. I'm impressed that they actually gave us a different head. We actually have a third same head, and that's one of the worst ones. I do not, to be honest, I don't really care for that head, but let me show you guys. I totally forgot about this one here. This one is the least Zane head that looks like him. Here's the third one. His hairstyle is all wrong, and even the color is not match same, and the face is totally off. He looks like uh, He looks a lot older and looks nothing like Zane. So if I were to rank them, I would definitely go with this being the first. Then this figure would be the second best. And the worst would be this one here. I'm not even going to say third best because the head is so long. So there you have it. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Cycle Silver Zane, I'm just talking in terms of the TV show only because I don't read the comics. Yeah, so this one here does not want to stay, so we'll put him all the way in the back. There you go. So he's pretty much from the Psycho Ranger saga. So the episode Five of a Kind, where TJ thought of the brilliant plan to follow the Space Rangers to turn into Blue Rangers to defeat the Psycho Rangers. And then we got the Psycho Silver Ranger that came in, aka Zane, under a costume, and he tricked the other Psychos into thinking that was the sixth Psycho Ranger. Well, technically fifth because Psycho Pink was killed at that time. And yeah, and then he basically pulled a whole 180 and revealed that it was actually him in a costume. That's where Psycho Silver comes in. I do believe the Blue Boom comics like elaborated more on that character. So yeah, so that's the Zane heads. So let's do a comparison of the Silver in Space Ranger, the individual figure, and the one that came in the bike. There are a few key differences. First, the metallic silver is little very slightly darker on the new Silver Ranger, the one that came in the bike. So again, the one that came in the bike is the one on the right, and the one that's individual is the one on the left. And then we have the gold cuffs and the belt and the gold detailing, significantly darker on the right Silver Ranger figure, as you guys can tell. And it's lighter on the individual release. Now I prefer the darker one because the darker one stands out more. The lighter gold shade under a certain light almost looks like they used the cheese gold when they didn't. And also the squares, I don't know if you guys can tell. This one is further apart, whereas this one is closer together and it looks like they used a darker green. And I prefer this one, these chest squares better because it looks more presentable versus this one here. And then one thing I also noticed is the shoulder bands. It seems to be slightly raised over here. It's not far too low like this figure here. And then there's the helmet. For this one, I'll show you guys a close up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So if you guys look at the visor, this one has a more wider, fatter visor. And this one, the visor is more thinner. Like the gold lines around the visor are thicker. You can see over here. So while this Gold Ranger pretty much gets point, sorry, did I say Gold Ranger? My bad, I meant to say Silver Ranger. Has all the different detailing spot on, and I love it. The only detailing that fails on is the visor because I feel like they use too much gold to make it really thick. I mean, it doesn't stand out too much, but if you have the Silver Ranger close to it, this one definitely for the helmet is the winner. But all the other detailing, I would give it to this one here. And head swapping wise, um, this individual Silver Ranger gets it easily because I was able to swap the heads without much of an issue. Versus the new Silver Ranger, I thought I was gonna break it again. The little knob that holds the head. So I was being very careful. So there you have it. So we pretty much have three Zanes released so far, which is pretty cool. We have the two Silver Rangers. Then we have the Psycho Silver version. I feel like we'll get another Zane with the rower that was released. I think it was the one where their Delta Megazord was destroyed. Yeah, this guy's not gonna stand. I'm just gonna put him back here. So there you have it. We are two Silver Rangers. And I must say, I must commend Hasbro for Instead of giving us the same exact figure, they gave us a figure with new detailing. That's really cool of them to do. And I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I do really love the darker silver on this figure. In person, it doesn't look too dark. It's only like like a maybe a shade or two darker, but it does really stand out, and I like it a lot better. So we reached the end of the video. Overall, my reaction for this figure, I love this figure. It's really awesome. I love the bike. I'm not uh, crazy about vehicles, but the earlier bikes, I love them. They're awesome because all the Rangers got either a bike or gliders. I mean, in Space Ranger's case, only he got a bike and the rest of them got gliders. But still, I love them. It looks amazing. Only criticism I have is the helmet, but then again, it's a small like criticism with the visor being a little bit thinner than the original Silver Ranger. But that's so minuscule compared to everything Hasbro did. They gave us a figure with brand new detailings. Like they improved on the previous Silver Ranger figure we had. And they gave us a new Zane head, this time with a better like facial expression. So Hasbro did well. The only thing they could have improved on the bike a bit because the bike looks like a dull gray. Could have given it more of a metallic finish, but that's about it. And yes, so I've actually failed to show you guys the accessories that the original Soul Ranger came with and the re-release. This is the accessory of the original Soul Ranger. It's pretty much the same. They basically just re-released it. There's nothing really too different. Or this is the new sword we got, the Super Solarizer. Now, the only difference I notice is for one of them, they colored it in silver on the top and bottom, while this one here, it's not colored in. Same thing with the new weapon. I don't know why they left out that detail. I thought they re-released the same exact weapon, but I guess not. And over here, it's black, and this one, it's silver. It's weird how there's the minor detailings are there, and even same here, the black, silver. So this is the more detailed weapon, I guess. Let me see if I can see anything else there. Pretty much it. So price wise, if you're in Canada, you can get this for 35.99. If you find this in GameStop, I would say go for it because it'll be 32.99 with the loyalty edge card, the platinum edge card, I think it's called. The for the US fans, you guys can find this figure easily. I know the US folk have found it without any issues. It's a lot cheaper for you guys. I think it's like $20 or $24. And I highly recommend this figure because the individual Soul Ranger was a whole mess. It was so hard to find them for a lot of people. I kept finding that figure left and right, and I realized late that I wanted a second version of this figure because my Legacy Space Rangers theme, it looks empty without a Space Silver Ranger figure. So by the time I was like, I want a second figure of this, it was too late. Those individual Space Silvers were gone. So when Hasbro released this one with the bike, I was like, hey, perfect. Way to get a second silver and also get this bike as well. Because these lightning figures are expensive, and if I don't need to get a duplicate, I wouldn't. But this one would come in handy because I could use him for my legacy team. There is a blue Space Ranger that came with a glider. I refuse to get that because the individual TJ looks fine and it Legacy already has a Blue Ranger, so I don't care to have like duplicates of the same figure. I was eyeing that figure, but I can't justify spending that money for the same exact figure just for the glider. And yeah, so that's basically my review. And again, I would highly recommend this figure if you don't have it in your collection. Even if you have it in your collection, the individual one, still get it because with the new paint job that they gave him, it's highly worth it. Even the new Zane head, is the best out of all three. So I would say go for it. And that's my review. And I'm pretty sure you guys have heard we got some nice releases from the Legacy line that are yet to come later this year. They announced we're getting a Red Turbo Ranger TJ. We're getting a Blue Lightspeed Rescue Ranger Chad, and the RPM Yellow Ranger. I believe the name is Rose. Yeah, Rose. I want to say Zoe, but I think that yeah, I think it's Rose. And we're getting some remastered Mighty Morphin figures, an armored red, which is really cool. Green Ranger Tommy, Black Ranger Zach, and Kimberly Pink Ranger. And I saw their facial sculpts, and holy shit, I have to say they did a remarkable job. It's spot on as the characters. I really want to get the Black and Pink Ranger because my Pink Ranger is all messed up, and it would be a huge improvement. And I might even get a Green Ranger. I don't know. I still haven't decided. I'm really excited. But yes, we have a lot of new stuff coming later this year. And thanks for watching as always. And please, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, comment. And yes, we'd love to hear from you guys.